All right, our last day for lesson 6.4, graphs of sine and cosine functions. Start with a little bit of a review. So in all of our functions, the sine function is actually the exact same as cosine of x minus pi over 2. So the sine function is a shift of the cosine function, or the cosine function is a shift of the sine function. And if we look at the key points that we've used in graphing, sine was 0, 0, pi over 2, 1, pi 0, 3 pi over 2, negative 1, 2 pi 0. Cosine, if we shift pi divided by 2 units forward, instead of 0, 0 would be pi over 2, 0. Instead of pi over 2, 1, we have pi negative 1. I'm sorry, we shift back. Pi over 2, 1, 0, 1. Pi 0 for sine translates into cosine pi over 2, 0. 3 pi over 2, negative 1. For sine would be pi negative 1 for cosine. Sine of 2 pi is 0. Cosine at 3 pi over 2 is 0. And that's the shift. So if we use what we know about our cosine function and sine function, we can graph. The only thing we're adding with today's graph is a shift up or down. So I'm going to start with cosine of x. And I'm going to label my axis. Actually, I'm going to do cosine of pi x. This would have a period of 2 pi divided by pi, or the period would be 2. We'll actually make it very easy to graph. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I graph cosine of pi x, we would go period of 2 again, graphing 2 periods of the graph of the function. Then I am going to graph the negative 4 cosine pi over 2. Negative 4 cosine pi x. So I take every value and multiply by negative 4. And the last thing I'm going to apply is that -2 at the end. So we have our final graph in purple, -4 cosine pi x -2. So that takes every value and shifts it down 2 units. So instead of 0, -4, we have 0, -6. Instead of 1/2 0, we have 1/2 -2. Instead of 1, 4, we have 1, 2, and so on. So our graph, try this again, takes on this shape. So again, the only difference, the only additional piece of information for today is we're going to add or subtract something at the end to shift our graph up or down. That's all for today. You'll have a worksheet that'll be handed out in a minute. You have the rest of the hour to work on it.